Hello everyone. I thought I would do, and I hope you can hear me because I know I'm not talking very loudly because of what time in the morning it is. I did film a video the other day. So basically, I was going to just film, because I'm still filming bits here and there, but I have no plans currently to edit anything into vlogs. But I'm just filming just so I can just say whatever I want to say, or document things or whatever. Not necessarily to use, or if I do use, it'll be a while because I have no plans of editing this month or maybe next month. But so I was about to film and I was like, do you know what? I'll film and put it up. Obviously it won't be edited, but I'll just film. And I ended up filming for like an hour when I didn't really have time to film for an hour. And then I somehow talked myself out of putting it up. Probably because it would be boring, and also it was an hour. Who wants an hour of me just chatting away? So I didn't put it up, but I wanted to put a video up this morning because Thursday used to be my vlog day. So how is everyone doing? I know some of you know where else to find me and watch my other videos and stuff, but some of you don't. But if you'd like to know other social medias and places to watch videos, and you've commented and spoken to me before, let me know, send me a message, and I will give you access to things if you want to. But I hope you're all having a good week so far. It's currently Thursday morning. I've been awake for hours. I woke up and I couldn't get back to sleep, and I'd only had about 4.5, 5 hours at a push sleep, and kept having to go for a wee. Got the bladder of a 90-year-old, not a 9-year-old, and kept getting back in bed. And then eventually the dog was like, I'm gonna get up. So the dog got on the bed, and she wanted to get up pretty quickly. So she's she's in the back garden, I believe, well, she was. And I'm about to have a shower and stuff, so wash my face and do my skincare. I'll do my skincare first, then I have a quick shower. Don't know what I'm going to wear today. But yeah, I've not had enough sleep, so I'm going to be having some coffee when I go downstairs, because I need something. But how is everyone doing? How is June treating you? Are you having a good week? If you've had a bad week so far, remember today is a new day, and today could go better for you. I tell you what, yesterday the postman come. Oh God, don't get a husky. And I was upstairs, and I only went downstairs about 5 minutes after the postman come, and the poster on the floor had been moved and had teeth marks in, and I totally forgot that I was due to parcels. Are they called parcels if they fit for your letterbox? I guess they are. And I only thought one of them was arriving yesterday. So when I first saw the letters, it didn't click in my head that something was due to be delivered. So I'm thinking, I wonder what the dog's doing. Because I'd been upstairs 10-15 minutes in total. I thought, I better just go and see what she's doing. She's probably just playing with something in the back garden. So I walk out. Don't know why I'm laughing. Excuse me. And she's literally there with a plastic jiffy bag, pink one, totally ripped open and chewing up the, well, about to chew up the contents of the bag as well. So she'd ripped open the bag, ripped open like the thank you card, whatever, and was about to chew up the 2 boxes that were inside. In fact, she chewed a bit of them, and luckily she hadn't chewed the contents, but I like keeping the boxes because of what's inside. So I wasn't very impressed, but what can I do? I can't turn back time. So went out with the dog, did a couple of things, came back, and I was doing something, and I'm like, the dog's pretty quiet outside. Normally I see her, like, even though I wasn't like in view of the back door or whatever, I was in like the living room on and off because I was busy doing things. And normally, like, I see her like either run across or do something, and I'm like, wonder what she's doing. Anyway, I went out to water the plants, and I'm like, what's she doing? Like, she was obviously down the side of the house. I'm like, what's she doing? And then I heard, like, it sounded like she was ripping something open. Now, a couple of months ago, she ripped open, it was already open, but she decided to completely rip open a bag of compost. And I knew that bag had been put in the bin. We'd put the compost in the garden, and I'd put the bag in the bin. So I knew it couldn't be that, and I knew there was nothing out there. So I walked round the corner, and lo and behold, the dog had the other parcel, which I didn't realise was due, and she'd ripped it open and was chewing up the contents of the bag, which was makeup brushes, and she'd like basically chewed them up, and she dragged the non-makeup brush items on the ground, and all that was salvageable was three brushes basically, because she chewed them up. I think they're in the bin now, but if I've got a picture, which I don't think I've got a picture, if I have got a picture, I can't insert it. Go on my Instagram. If you go on the Instagram before about 4 p.m. today, they'll still be up. If not, they won't be up, but yeah. So yeah, that was fun. Do you know what? She hasn't done anything like that for ages. But then again, I don't normally leave with access to the back garden for longer than 5 minutes unless I'm downstairs. And I think because I wasn't downstairs and the postman come, she was like, well, these are my parcels now. So yeah, I'm not very happy. I weren't happy when I found the first parcel, but the items are still usable, but the boxes are damaged. But the second lot, and I was after this makeup brush set for ages, because I've got like, hold on, have I got any in here? It's by the brand Brush Candy. I don't know if I can read that. Is it the right way around? Brush Candy. I've got the, is it 15-piece violet brush set, and I've got the marshmallow brush set. And I basically, they were doing lucky dips, and I ended up with the mini marshmallow set. There's not as many brushes, but it's a mini set, and I wanted it for ages, because it's perfect bag size, like if you're going out for the day, or if you're going out at night and you're like taking your powder and you want a powder brush. So I ended up with the mini brush set, a BC04, which is from the full size set, but it's the contour brush. I already have the brush, but I use it as a blush brush, and when I realised I was getting it again, I thought I'll use it as the blush brush this time. I also got a satin sleep mask, the matching scrunchie, and the mini bonbon blenders. Can't even find the mini bonbon blenders. The sleep mask is filthy, but I'm going to see if I can wash it. The scrunchie was ripped up, and the full size makeup brush was chewed up, so I've got 3 mini eyeshadow brushes, and that's all I've got left from that. And I'm not happy because the mini violet brush set, I think it's normally £30. I don't think it's worth £30. sometimes she does a 40% off discount code. So I think next time she does that, I'm going to have to buy it because I really wanted the mini brush set. So I wasn't bothered about the sleep mask because I have a couple and I don't really use them. I wanted the satin scrunchie because when I plait my hair for bed, I put a satin hair bobble in. I had one in last night and it came out. It's in the bed somewhere. So anyway, that's what the dog did yesterday. I got a tiny bit of sunburn on my arm because I always put SPF on 50 and I had a t-shirt dress on and the sleeve goes just below my elbow. So I put it on to, I think I did my elbows, but that was it. But just above my elbow, you can't really see it, here, because when I walk with the dog, I have my arm out in front of me. The bit of arm that was exposed, I've slightly burnt. And it's not too burny, but it's quite itchy. Well, it is burning, but it's not badly burnt. So I need to, even if my sleeves cover, I need to remember that the majority of the time my arm's fully in front of me because the dog, that's how the dog walks. Like, it's always, the lead's always tight because she has to be ahead. So I need to make sure that I go further up my arm because now I've got a line. Anyway, what else can I tell you? I badly hurt my back and side yesterday when I was on the dog walk, and my hip, and we all know I've got a dodgy hip anyway. It's inflamed my hip. My dog gets overexcited when she sees dogs. She wants to go to every dog and every stranger, but when she sees a dog, she wants to go to that dog. She leaps around like an absolute idiot, jumps up and down, spins me round, does laps of me, like goes round in circles, does whatever she can to get to the dog. If she can get to the dog, if it's walking past, she's leaping around like an idiot. Now some owners don't like it and accuse her of being aggressive, and I'm like, no, she's just a young dog who's very excitable. But when you come across really nice dog owners, they have the same issues with certain dog owners. Anyway, I'm not talking about that. So yesterday, there was 3 occasions where she was overexcited. The first occasion, she was in some water, I'm not going to say, she just likes going to water, and she was out the water, and then she was like sniffing stuff, and then I was like, let's head back to the main track. And as we're walking up to the main track, this dog comes flying down without an owner, not on a lead. So she starts leaping around like an absolute idiot, trying to play with the dog. And I was precariously close to falling down the steep hill, or whatever it was, to get back to the main path. And I'm trying to like keep my great footing, and not fall, and also get the dog away from this dog who keeps running at the dog, because it clearly is a friendly dog and wants to play, but my dog leaps around like an idiot and is so unbelievably strong, it's difficult. So I managed to get away, and as I get out of that and join the main pathway, there's 3 or 4 females with another dog just as I get there. So I'm like, oh my god, so my dog starts sleeping at the second dog wanting to play, and I'm hoping that they hold back or that they're going down to where the other dog is, and I'm trying to like walk on with the dog, and I'm like, come on, trying to get her, but she's constantly pulling me backwards as I'm trying to move forwards, and because she's super strong, it's like a battle. So they carry on walking right behind me, and they can see I'm really struggling, the dog's spinning me around, and I'm walking forwards, and all of a sudden she's leaping backwards, and I'm walking one way, my body's suddenly being pulled another way, and I quite badly hurt my back to the right side. It's in the middle, but to the right side. And I felt it, but because I'm constantly trying to get the dog under control, I'm kind of not paying full attention to the pain that I'm in. And I turn round and they're just like looking at me, and they can see that I'm struggling and that their dogs, because the other dog had joined them by that point, are causing me issues. And I'm like, basically, it felt like I was fighting with an alligator. But I was trying to like get her to stop pulling me backwards to try to get to the dogs, but because the dogs kept running to my dog, it was impossible. So I'm like, come on, and eventually they stopped and got hold of the dogs. But by then, it had done a lot of damage because I'm constantly trying to move forwards, yet I'm being yanked backwards in the opposite direction, constantly, because they're letting their dogs constantly run at my dog. I keep having to move sitting position because of my hip. So I carry on with the walk, and I'm walking faster to try and get further away from them, because I know that my dog likes to sniff stuff. So I'm trying to get far enough ahead so if she stops and sniffs for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, they won't catch me up. So I went one way, hoping that they would go another way, and they stopped and talked to someone, and I could hear them, and I'm still hoping they would go the opposite direction, because my dog decided to sniff for a large amount of time. Anyway, they followed me, and I'm like, oh my god, they know their dog's causing my dog issues. Well, they're causing me issues. Sorry, I need to move again. I need to get completely open. They know they're causing me issues, and that my dog's leaping around like an idiot, and literally I'm moving forward and she's leaping backwards. It hurts, it really hurts. And luckily they crossed behind me, and even though they were on the same area as me, they went like away from me. So they were like a good maybe 15 foot away from me, and my dog was more interested in sniffing where we were. So luckily she didn't realise where they were, because even though they were 15 foot away, she would still see them and still try to get to the dogs, because she just wants to play with every bloody dog. So I carry on the walk, and then it starts to look like we're going to cross paths again, because I'm walking one way and they're coming across to where my path leads, or well, not on a path but on where I'm heading. And then across from me, this dog starts running at us, and I'm like off the lead, and I became aware of it because the owner started shouting the dog, and I'm like, oh my bloody god. Then my dog spots the dog, so then she spins me round, and I'm trying to like fight against it again and try and get her moving forward, but she wants to play with this dog that continuously is running at us. So I just let it run at us and just stood there and let them play, because I thought, I can't keep bloody fighting against these bloody dogs running at my dog. And the annoying thing is, the owners, especially the one with the two dogs who was walking behind me, could see how much I was struggling with the dog. Yet they carried on letting the dogs run at me until eventually they got hold of them. Anyway, this dog came to us, had a sniff, and the owner kept shouting it. And I was like, and then I tried to carry on, and eventually my dog let me carry on walking. And then I went far away from where the others had decided to cross my path. So I had to basically stand still whilst they messed around, putting the leads back on the dogs. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so frustrating. And then when they like crossed the front of us, they went another direction, thankfully, and I carried on in the direction I wanted to head. And then I suddenly realised how much pain I was in, and I think the reason why it hadn't hit me by that point is because I was constantly watching those three females with the two dogs, because obviously I was worried that my dog would spot them and try her very hardest to get to them. So once we were like able to just walk and there were no dogs around, I suddenly realised how much pain I was in. And I think, you know, when you first hurt yourself, sometimes adrenaline kicks in and you don't realise. I think the adrenaline was wearing off, and I just suddenly felt like I was going to black out. And where I was at that point, if I would have blacked out, unless a dog walker came down, I wouldn't have, if I was unconscious, I wouldn't have been spotted because of where I was. And I remember thinking, this is the worst place to black out. And then I was like, I carried on walking because I knew I had to get, if I was going to bloody collapse, I knew I had to get somewhere where I would be spotted pretty quickly. And I carried on walking, and the feeling eased off a little bit, briefly, and then a couple of minutes later the feeling came back, and then it eased off a little bit, and then I got somewhere where I could stop, and I took 2 Panadol and had a drink of water, because I've been in worse back pain. Like, if you've watched me long enough, remember when I used to get that excruciating back pain where I was constantly in tears every time I moved? It felt like someone was ripping my spine out. It wasn't as bad as that, and I think it was because it was all down my right side into my hip. I think that's what it was. I think it was putting some kind of pressure on that was making me feel like I was going to black out. So I took painkillers, and I knew they wouldn't work instantly, obviously. I wish they bloody did. And I stood there for a couple of minutes, and then we carried on walking. And the funny thing was, as I was like, the first time I thought I was going to black out, my bloody phone was ringing in my bag, and I knew 100% it was my mum, because she typically seems to ring me when I'm on a dog walk, and she always seems to ring me on a Wednesday afternoon. So when I stopped and took painkillers, I rang her back, but of course she didn't answer. So that meant I had to walk with the phone in my hand in case she rang me back. And I like to keep both hands free, but the part of the walk that I was on at that point, I very rarely come across a dog, so I knew I had a good 15 minutes. Well, it turned out longer because it turned out the dog wanted to sniff everything. So I had about 25 minutes-ish, 20 minutes of dog-free interaction, which meant I could carry the phone. But I ended up in so much pain as I carried on walking, and I thought I was going to black out. I literally rang my dad up and told him what had happened. And he said the same thing happened to him on Sunday. He said, like, he didn't hurt himself. He said it hurt, but he didn't badly hurt himself. But he said, like, he had a difficult dog owner who, even though they could see he was struggling with the dog, let their dog continuously run at the dog. So, and I told him where I was in case I blacked out. I said, if you don't hear from me in the next hour, something's happened. Anyway, my mum eventually ruled me back. I can't remember. Oh, I do remember where I was. I got back to the point where I was about to put my phone in my bag, because I come into an area where I'm likely to bump into dogs. And then she rang me. But yeah, I wasn't in too much pain yesterday. It came back last night, but it wasn't too bad. And I came up to bed, I was like, oh God, the pain's getting worse. And I was like, oh, you're going to be going to sleep anyway. You should be able to sleep through the pain. And I did, although I've not had as much sleep as I want. And now I'm in a lot of pain, even though I've took myself off my right hip and I'm on my left hip. I'm in a lot of pain. My back's still sore. It's mainly to the right side, but my hip is killing me. So if you've got a dog and you see someone and they've got a dog on a lead, and I do get comments about why I always walk on a lead. Huskies cannot be trained recall. They won't come back to you. They will in enclosed spaces, and if you're very patient and put in like years of practice, you can to some extent get them to come back, but it's very rare to be able to accomplish it. And you can only let them, if you can get it to that point, you can't let them off anywhere where there's a road nearby. Like, you'd have to be in the middle of nowhere basically, but they typically don't pick up recall, so that's why I walk on a lead. I do get the odd nasty comment, and I don't understand why, because there's dogs that can't go off leads because they're aggressive. Mine isn't, but there's dogs that are scared to be off leads, they have insecurities, they have issues. So there's lots of reasons why dogs are on leads and they can't be off leads. So if you're one of those that are ignorant and think I'm being cruel or other dog owners are being cruel, if the dog stays on their lead, there is a reason for it, and it's not because the owner's cruel and they don't want the dog to run around. There's always a reason why. Because when I was at the beach with the dog, this teenager, they were about 13 or 14, kept saying very loudly whilst walking near me, why is that dog on the lead on the beach, it's not normal. And they kept saying it, and the parent should have said, well, there could be loads of reasons why it's on its lead. I'm not cruel. If I could let my dog off the lead and she comes back, I would happily let her off. But no, she won't come back to me, and she's a bugger to catch, let me tell you that. Because I've had to do that, and not because I've let her escape. So, yeah. If you do have a dog and you see it struggling because it's leaping around because it wants to play with your dog, and that you can see the dog owners trying to walk on with the dog, and your dog keeps running up to it, please be considerate and put your dog on the lead and try and walk in a different direction, or hold back for 30 seconds to a minute to let them get ahead, because it's not nice having to fight against such a strong dog whilst your dog's coming up to it, and it wouldn't be as tough an issue or as difficult if you didn't let your dog constantly run at that person's dog. So yeah. Oh god, my hip is really bad. And tell you what, the Panadol probably won't even touch this pain. So I don't know how my dog walk's gonna go today. So yeah. It's Thursday, nearly Friday, nearly Saturday, and it's Father's Day on Sunday. Is anyone doing anything for Father's Day? And also, what do you get your dad for Father's Day? Because I've got my dad. I can't say what it is on here until after a certain date, when of course I will be heavily talking about it. But it's something that I know my dad's gonna love 1,000,000,000%, and that I'm gonna get some enjoyment from. And it's something that I can't say anymore because it might give it away, but it involves something that we both love, something that is one of my favourites, and something that I've wanted, not something that I've wanted, like, I can't explain it, but when I can, I will talk, well, I'll 100,000,000% talk about it, and he has no idea. And then I've got him some clothing. Oh god, I'm talking quite loudly. Well, he probably can't hear me. And he has there's this beer that he really likes, this lager, and they've brought out this new version of it all of a sudden. So I've got him some of that to try. And what else have I got him? Got him some chocolate because he has a sweet tooth. But he doesn't eat chocolate that often, but if I ever get him chocolate or chocolates, he literally flies through them. and I got him some aftershave and a leather wallet that, well, I don't like the wallet that he's using. So I've got him this black leather wallet that holds cards, notes, and it's got this coin section in it, because the one that he's got he likes because it holds coins. So I've got him this leather one from M&S. I've got him a bottle of port, like this small bottle of port. Well, depends what you call small. It's not like a miniature, it's like just a smaller bottle of port. I think it's 35 centilitres or something. And yeah, there's something else that he's having on Sunday as well, which I can't say at this moment in time, but I will afterwards. So yeah. Have I got him anything else? I feel like I've got him something else. I can't think. But my dad always says to me, just buy me beer. But beer doesn't like last him very long. And he's sometimes very silly with beer. And he like the other night he come in and he'd had quite a few drinks. And I knew what he was going to do. There was this massive bottle of beer in the fridge, like a 750 bottle. And he kept looking at the fridge, and I knew what he was going to do, even though he'd had more than enough. And I was like, whatever. Like, I didn't like say anything. I was just like, whatever. If you just want to waste it, because I knew he'd waste it. And next day, I'd noticed that he'd spilt it all over his coffee table, and most of it was left in the bottle. So he'd basically wasted a bottle of beer, and that's the silly thing that he does. So even though he'd probably love me to buy him a ton of beer, I don't. I really buy him beer as gifts. And typically I don't like to buy alcohol as gifts anyway. Like, if it's like an extra gift, you know, like if you buy a main gift and then you buy like a little extra gift, I don't mind it as that. But as a main gift, I don't like doing it, because alcohol doesn't last him long. But in general, I don't like alcohol as gifts, because it's not something that lasts a super amount of time. So, what time is it? God, it's later than I thought. But yeah, he's got port, and he's got a 4-pack of these lagers to try. There was a beer that I thought I'd get him, but unless I go to that shop today, I won't get it. But I can't say where I want to go before I go. But there's this shop I want to go to, and it's like a 25-mile round journey. And if you've watched me long enough, you'll know exactly which shop I'm talking about, because I used to go quite often. But I don't know if I want to call there just to spend like £15, like maybe 20. It's quite a drive, and I've got loads to do, so I don't know if I'll go. But if I do manage to go, I'll get him a couple of bottles of this other beer. But yeah, I don't typically like getting him beer. Actually, last Father's Day, one of his gifts was, I bought him this box from online on M&S. They did this Father's Day gift box, and it had about, I think it's, oh, I didn't show it on here. Did I show it on here? It had about 6 beers in, and about 4 or 5 different snacks. Maybe 5 or 6 different snacks in it. There might have been more, but actually I think there was 8 bottles of beer. I think there was 2 times 4, so there was 4 different ones times 2. And there was about 5 or 6 types of snacks in it as well, and he really liked that. But I don't think they've got that this year. I've not looked. I don't think they do. But yeah, what do you get your dads for Father's Day? And do you see your dad on Father's Day? Do you do anything on Father's Day with your dad? Do you take him anywhere? Do you cook for him at home? Do you give him money to go to a pub? I have previous years given beer money just to go to a pub with, because he likes to go for a drink and stuff. So yeah. Have you got any plans for the weekend? Are you doing anything nice? Let me know. Obviously if I have plans, I'm not going to post them on here. My dog has more plans than me. My dog has a bit of social life. Wonder what post she's going to rip up today. I actually don't have any deliveries due at all. Well, I was meant to get something new today, but I think, do you know when you put a new bank card in, I think I put the wrong, the wrong expiry date. So something that was meant to be delivered today that I desperately need, nothing exciting, it's for the house. It got cancelled and it was too late to order it to get it today. So I need to do that because it involves actually getting the bank card out, which is downstairs. But I ordered something for the house that I desperately need. Oh my God. And I forgot to put the correct expiry date because I added a new card because the other one had expired. And I put the wrong expiry date on, so basically the order got cancelled. And I'm not happy about it because I desperately need what it is. And I know I can get it delivered Saturday, but I didn't really want to. I'm going to have to do it Saturday, whatever, because it's got a very important use. Think of an item that you use most, if not every day. If you own a dog, you would use it every day. Because mine, the one that I've currently got, I've had for years. I've used it so much. Well, it still works except for the main part keeps breaking every minute. And then you fix it and then it breaks again and it's a nightmare to use, and then I can't do everything that I need to do because it's just constantly breaking. So basically I had to replace something. Luckily, it weren't too expensive, and it's only a temporary version because there's something that I want that's much more expensive. But I've got a few expensive months coming up, so. But what I've got apparently is amazing anyway. So, well, not that I've got it because I put the wrong bank card details in because I'm an idiot. I don't know I actually did that. Anyway, there's me saying I went on for over an hour in the last one and I've just rumbled on for 37 minutes. But if you want to keep more up to date with me, check my Instagrams. And if you know where else I post, feel free to come along. And if you'd like to know when you've spoken to me on here before, I'm more than happy to let you know some of my social medias. And yeah, have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. This probably won't be a regular thing because I don't want to sit and ramble on for this amount of time, and I'm not doing any editing kind of things at the moment. I'm too busy and there's a lot of stuff going on that I'm busy with as well. But I will be back at some point. But if you want to see more of me, then if you don't know how to find me and you've spoken to me before, let me know. But have a great rest of June because I can't imagine I'll be back before the end of June. Although, who knows? Anyway, I never make promises and I never say I definitely won't or I definitely will. But have a great Thursday, have a great Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I've got some exciting things to share with you in the coming months. And I'll leave it at that.